Referee Harvey Dock working his 230th professional bout, the first of our two main events on this special night of Showtime pay-per-view boxing. Twin Charlos going at it. The first one, Jermal. And the champion Jermal Charlo in the black with silver trunks, the determined challenger Sergiy Derevyanchenko in the white with black and gold. And he told us that he wants a faster start. Remember, in his two biggest fights against Triple G and Daniel Jacobs, he was dropped in the opening round.
That's a top priority for him, and he has to worry about early on in this match. And from the first second of this match, the one punch he's going to worry about is the uppercut of Jermal Charlo.
Yeah, Jirok heard about that, and a lot of other fighters have tasted. Of course, Erickson Lubin, who we saw beat Terrell Gaucher to earn another opportunity at this title. And his first opportunity was dropped in the opening round with a right uppercut.
Charlo averages 45.9 punches per round. Derevyanchenko averages 64.5. He's normally a very busy fighter. Will he be able to be that busy in this matchup? We'll see.
Charlo already sticking the jab, little feinting, and of course a lot of respect. This is a highly anticipated showdown at 160, a chance for Jermal Charlo to prove that he is the man at 160, while Avner Derevyanchenko knows that this might be his final opportunity to claim a championship.
Definitely could be. I mean, he had two opportunities already, and this will be his third against Jermal. But again, like you mentioned, you can tell how of a high level this fight is. I mean, the guys taking their time, choosing their punches. I mean, you can't get reckless in this fight, and you definitely can't make a mistake.
Charlo stifling Derevyanchenko's attempt to apply more pressure early. The jab proving to be effective, Mr. Bernstein.
Yeah, and Derevyanchenko wants to throw his jab to work his way on the inside, but has been loath to do that so far, I think, because he doesn't want to get countered by a right hand.
Final minute of the first frame. And really for Charlo, the way he wanted to start, utilize the jab, develop the rhythm, and sticking that educated jab on the face of Derevyanchenko, but good body movement by Derevyanchenko. The chess match has begun.
There you see the right hand from Charlo. He wants to drop that in if he can, and at long range, Derevyanchenko is susceptible to it.
Good counter shot by Charlo. Timed that entry by Derevyanchenko very well and puts together a combination. Jab is carried by Derevyanchenko. So tactical start, double jab, an effective start for Jermal Charlo. Good right hand by Derevyanchenko at the end of the round.
Let's take a look at the keys to victory for these men. We'll start with Jermal Charlo, the champion. We were so close, too.
We were, right? I mean, again, this is a fight where Jermal wants to keep Derevyanchenko in the outside. Jabbing, I mean, Jermal's jab is a powerful one. And when he lands that right hand, obviously, is powerful, too. Derevyanchenko, he's going to try to get inside, but he has a tendency when he throws that jab, he leaves it out there.
He's made adjustments here in the second round, bouncing up and down his feet, really beginning to put the jab in there, but now comes Charlo with the longer jab. And a massive size difference, as you see there between the two, as Charlo walking down Derevyanchenko and fires that long-range 1-2.
Derevyanchenko is not a big middleweight. He never has been physically a big middleweight. And his mission is to be right there, kind of off the chest of Charlo if he can get there.
And, of course, everyone raving about his performance. Many ringside observers thought he toppled Triple G, and yet he also went through a battle there, cut up, and he felt the power of Triple G. So you wonder, how much did that take a toll on Derevyanchenko here and coming into his third title fight as he gets tagged by Charlo?
There was a nice right hand by Derevyanchenko when he got on the inside, but he's getting that real estate has come at a price for him. But there, you see, that's what he needs to do. Pave the way inside with the jab. Even against a good jabber like Charlo, you've got to try.
And the difference Jermal is doing between the two fights you mentioned, I mean, Triple G and obviously Derevyanchenko, is that Jermal is standing right there. He's throwing the jab and he's waiting for Derevyanchenko to make a mistake and make him pay for it.
Derevyanchenko going to the body and avoids a sweeping left hook by Charlo. So Derevyanchenko feinting more, bouncing up and down his feet, trying to maybe utilize angles as Charlo just sits there. And Charlo ate the jab from Derevyanchenko, misses with a counter left hook. I like that lead left hook, left uppercut combination by Charlo.
There you go.
Things are percolating here in round 2. High level, 2 of the best at 160. There is the pumped jab. Oh, nice left hook on the release there by Derevyanchenko. We are through 2 rounds of this 160-pound tilt. Here's Brian Custer.
All right, Mo, thank you for joining us.
Up a bit, but something tells me he will still be a big-time Instagram influencer, Al, as we begin round number 3. And Derevyanchenko, if he can escape these early rounds, tends to get better as the fight unfolds, while, of course, Jermal Charlo with that accuracy and statistically better defensively than the challenger.
Jermal definitely changes his punches. I mean, he throws a jab, he throws a check hook here and there, and that sneaky uppercut that Al mentioned.
Nice.
Derevyanchenko looking for that 1-2. The only times he's caught Jermal is when Jermal pulls back in a straight line. He's got to use angles. He's got to turn to another side instead of just going straight in the line.
Moments ago, he landed a nice right hand over the top using angles, Al.
Yeah, he did. And, there he blocked the uppercut attempt by Charlo. He's starting to attack a little bit more, as we said, from angles. He doesn't want to get countered. And you see Jermal Charlo very conscious of trying to counter him with the left hooks.
Very composed. Jermal Charlo, of course, under the tutelage of the respected Ronnie Shields.
He normally, Derevyanchenko, lands 19.9 punches per round, which is really good. Charlo only gives up 8.6, so something's got to give in that equation.
And nice barrage of punches there. Derevyanchenko trying to open up, and really you look at Derevyanchenko's career, he's proved to be durable, lots of activity, enjoys that body attack, and underrated footwork, and he's trying to put together the footwork here in the 3rd round as he's had some success.
Starting to percolate because they're both getting the range a little bit better.
And Abner Charlo's jab continues to be far more effective.
Really effective. I mean, it's only when Derevyanchenko is able to get in the inside, he lands the body work. But Charlo right away with the jab.
Under a minute remaining in the 3rd round. High stakes in many ways. The first of 2 main events. A 2-part pay-per-view here tonight from the Fight Sphere. The twin Charlos defending their respective titles, and Derevyanchenko trying to find a way inside and eats a couple of left hands.
He ripped a nice left hook downstairs a moment ago.
And this, really showcasing the different styles, the different levels, and just enjoying 2 high-level professionals apply their trade, and a lot of the mental warfare going on as well as Charlo tries to score with that combo. Charlo picking apart. Derevyanchenko may have hurt him there. Derevyanchenko stumbled. And Derevyanchenko may have been saved by the bell in terms of being knocked down.
You're waiting too long, champ. You're waiting too long.
And this is where he was in the pocket, got hit with a right hand that bounced a little bit off the top of the head. It was not an illegal blow, but nonetheless a very good right hand by Charlo. And Abner, here's where he got caught in between in the level of where he wanted to be, not far enough inside.
Yeah, and it was one of those shots right in the temple that just, buckles your knees, and he almost went down.
And the left hook punctuated that, didn't it?
Derevyanchenko moving like a shopping cart momentarily as we begin round 4, almost suffering his 3rd knockdown. Again, His only 2 other knockdowns came in the opening round of his respective fights against Daniel Jacobs and Triple G, and Derevyanchenko bouncing back early in round 4 with a good right hand. And Derevyanchenko beginning to put the combos together, but Charlo comes back with a couple of lefts, including a left hook to the body.
The combination punching, which I mentioned at the beginning, is the key for Derevyanchenko. He's got to throw.
Yes, he has to let his hands go. When he does that, that creates and that makes Jermal pull back straight forward. And when he does it, Derevyanchenko is so effective. I mean, in his last fights, he kept pressuring that, you know, a lot of those punches got in. But right now, he's choosing his punches, again, for the same reason. Charlo is such a great counterpuncher.
Yep. Charlo working the body, a short right over the top by Derevyanchenko. So much amateur experience, an Olympian in just his 16th pro fight. But Al, you mentioned his experience with World Series of Boxing, and he's had so much experience, and you are seeing now the level that he brings to the ring.
Yeah, very fine technical fighter, but again, he's in there against Jermal. Charlo is showing us he is thinking his way through this fight very well. He's very composed. He's throwing very precise counter punches, and you know, that is maybe the difference so far in this fight.
A mature performance by.
Yeah, very much so.
Guys, there was a short uppercut a couple of seconds ago that hurt Derevyanchenko. He took a step back. I think Charlo noticed that, but now he's just timing up.
He doubles up with that left hand. Derevyanchenko misses with the right. Under a minute now left in the 4th round, and Jermal, left hook to the body, and that left hook upstairs bounced off the shoulder of Charlo.
Derevyanchenko is starting to put his punches together a little bit in terms of combinations.
But Charlo just stalking. I mean, the size difference on display, and Derevyanchenko doing what he has to do, come forward. Lead right cross scores for Derevyanchenko. Another good defense by Charlo.
And see, those are the angles we're talking about. He's not staying still. He's moving. Jermal, I mean, he's not giving him a position where Derevyanchenko can land combinations. So he's just not there.
Jab to the body by Charlo. His most effective weapon in terms of setting up his power, the jab. But there is his calling card. Right uppercut, left uppercut. Derevyanchenko. At the end of the round, we're through 4 of this 160-pound title tilts.
Uppercut. Derevyanchenko is right in the kill zone for that punch, and there it is, the left uppercut. And the beauty for Charlo is he throws that punch very well with his left or his right, and so both of those uppercuts are effective. And here he comes with the left uppercut. That was toward the end of the round when he had Derevyanchenko against the ropes.
Look, drop and shoot that right uppercut. Okay? Yeah. It's there. It's there.
I know. I'm waiting to get him a little closer.
Yeah, he gonna get closer. He gonna get closer. Yeah. Get there.
He's rushing everything.
Yeah.
High ring
good,
IQ displayed by the champion Jermal Charlo, waiting for Derevyanchenko to come a little closer, very confident, and Ronnie Shields, of course, wanting more of that uppercut, it's delivered big time in the past.
Charlo said to us, I don't want to try and outperform Jacobs or Golovkin. I want to stay within myself and do what I do well. That's precisely what he's done. He's fighting a very poised and effective fight thus far.
But he is wanting to do what they were unable to do, and that's stop Derevyanchenko for the first time in his career, and had him wobbled in the last round. As he now here in round number 5, Charlo continues to stalk Derevyanchenko.
And he's doing something that the fighters we mentioned didn't do, and that's making this fight not as difficult for him.
There's that right uppercut, catches Derevyanchenko coming in.
Charlo has controlled the geography of this fight completely, yes, to speak to what Abner was saying.
And the confidence is oozing out of his pores.
Yeah, you can tell that in between rounds.
And we talked about the confidence that he has, that he brings into every fight. I mean, that's the type of fighter he is, type of person. And we saw it, we heard it in the corner. He said, hey, I'm just waiting for him to get in close to get him with that uppercut.
We've seen many wonderful jabs in the sport. Larry Holmes, Lennox Lewis, Manny Pacquiao, Jermal Charlo. That's an effective jab, although he eats a couple of shots for Derevyanchenko. But well, let's continue to watch the action here, as I think I wanted to get Abner just to quickly mention Charlo's.
No, and I was just going to say that he might eat one here or there, punch, talk about Jermal, but he is slick enough that he moves. He doesn't stay for the second or third, and that's when Derevyanchenko is a dangerous fighter, when he lets his hands go.
A reminder that the second part of fights is when Sergiy Derevyanchenko usually comes on. And starting to do a little bit right now.
Absolutely, as he's giving Jermal Charlo a great exchange here. Derevyanchenko footwork and then spinning the champion around.
This has been the most exciting round of the fight.
There's a cut under or around the eye of Derevyanchenko thanks to that piston-like jab. And of course, Derevyanchenko was cut in the Triple G fight.
Derevyanchenko is starting to get the feel of getting on the inside. How well that will do for him remains to be seen, but I'll tell you what it's doing for us. It's making this an exciting fight.
And Derevyanchenko, you saw him paw at the right eye, now becoming a little more desperate, has to become aggressive, although 15 seconds remain in the fifth. Derevyanchenko was coming off in this round and continues to deliver combos, but the champion continues to be effective in every way.
Sit down. Come on. All right. Nice and relax. Everybody relax.
Derevyanchenko has reached his normal punch number of 64.
This is round number 6, scheduled for 12 for Jermal Charlo's WBC middleweight title, a championship that Derevyanchenko covets. He wants to join the illustrious list of Ukraine-born champions, going to the body on Charlo.
That's the combination punching that he is capable of.
And picking it up this round once again. The combinations, the volume of punches that Derevyanchenko needs to throw in order to get back into his fight.
Yeah, there has to be more volume.
Oh, there's a lead right hand by Derevyanchenko. You are watching the middleweight title fight between Charlo and Derevyanchenko. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you may be viewing it. Mauro Ranallo, Al Bernstein, and Abner Morris at ringside, joined by Brian Custer, Steve Farhood, and the best crew in boxing TV. Under 2 minutes now left here in the 6th. And Abner, you mentioned it, Derevyanchenko on the come up.
And doing something his corner told him that was to work the body, don't headhunt. And he's doing it effectively in this round, Derevyanchenko.
We have a fight now because Derevyanchenko's been able to cut the distance, get just inside the jab and the right hand, and do what Abner just said, work the body.
And I think Charlo exchanging, well, maybe a one-sided conversation with, I don't know, the referee or Derevyanchenko, but starting to sit down a little more on his punches, although his footwork, they're almost getting tangled up, but these two standing in front of each other, and we have a minute left in the 6th.
It's a fun round, as the last round was. Very interesting to watch, and certainly the best round for Derevyanchenko in this fight.
Even though Derevyanchenko now has a mouse developing under the left eye. Rocky Balboa, watch out. Oh, good stuff on the inside.
Yeah, this is really fun to watch. Both men doing good work. And this is where Derevyanchenko is making the kind of fight we thought he might.
Hands are free.
Jermal needs to pick up that left hand. He's eating a couple of right hands.
Well, they're going tit for tat here as they exchange body shots. Charlo going upstairs. Derevyanchenko with a right uppercut, avoiding the shot. Just some sweet, sweet science here at 160 pounds. Good right hand. Derevyanchenko. We've got ourselves a title fight. A bloody and now brutal affair going to round 7. Wow. Whoa.
One punch, yeah.
Was it Darelus Katagi where we saw something similar to what this marks the 100th round of Sergiy Derevyanchenko's professional career. A lot of those rounds, championship rounds like tonight, as he eats another jab from the champion Jermal. Charlo momentarily staggered with that left.
And it's when Jermal sets that power jab and hooks here and there and sneaky uppercuts, but he doesn't want to stay in there with Derevyanchenko. He's making this fight entertaining, yes, but a more difficult fight for him.
I don't know. This last moment here, Charlo really scoring on the inside and putting it on Derevyanchenko.
Well, he is, but he's doing it from just enough range where he has the room to do it. Now pushing him back. Let's see if he thinks Derevyanchenko was hurt in that exchange. Maybe he was, because this is not the way Derevyanchenko moves.
And he's doing it from a distance, like you mentioned now, that he's not in too close, but just right.
Jab by Charlo. Let's bring in our unofficial score, Steve Farhood, at the midway point of this championship contest.
Mo, I want to talk momentum, and in boxing, momentum is what you did in your most recent round. And Derevyanchenko had the best round of the fight so far in the 6th. With that said, Charlo with the jab and fighting in his distance, I gave him most of the previous round. So I have Charlo at 58-56 at the halfway point.
High level, high impact. Derevyanchenko goes upstairs, and Charlo absorbs that left hook and barely budges. And by the way, last round, Derevyanchenko's 27 landed punches were the most ever by a Jermal Charlo opponent.
Well, I mentioned that people average 8 punches landed around against Charlo, and normally 19 for Derevyanchenko. Derevyanchenko's landed some hellacious left hooks in this round. Charlo did a good job of withstanding them.
Yeah, Charlo's chin made of vibranium, and a big shout out to the dearly departed Chadwick Boseman as it's Charlo looking to rattle Derevyanchenko's jaw, and Derevyanchenko a little off balance.
A lot of head hunting from both fighters. I would like to see a little bit more body work from both. Great uppercut there by Jermal.
And there's Derevyanchenko, who has a good uppercut, tossing his into the fray. These are real entertaining rounds. Very well fought by both men.
Under 30 seconds left in the 7th, and things as expected heating up between Charlo and Derevyanchenko, but Derevyanchenko's face beginning to look a bit like a Halloween mask here in round number 7. And it caused him problems against Triple G. Another right uppercut lands at the bell for the champ.
Right hand to the left. There's a left to the body, and he doubles with the left hook. That's when he is really effective. When he throws a double left hook like that, he is very, very effective. That's a great replay to demonstrate what Derevyanchenko is capable of.
And it showcased Charlo's stout whiskers. He has never been knocked down in this, his 31st fight. This is round number 8.
These are usually the territory in fights where Derevyanchenko gets his best work done. We'll see if he can.
Right hand lands for Charlo. And there's a jab that continues to swell up the face of the challenger.
Yeah, you pointed out, Marlo, that's going to be a big problem for him. And according to Steve Farhood, things are tightening up a bit.
As we expected, a close encounter of the 160-pound affair, and Charlo backing up, using good defense to avoid just being out of range, as you mentioned, Abner, sticking to the most comfortable range.
Most comfortable, effective range where he is right now and where he does damage, and he makes it look easy when he does that. He connects at will.
Punishing jab and a good counter left hook by Derevyanchenko. And again now.
I think one of those body punches, whether it ended low or not, hurt Charlo.
Charlo getting Attacked here, Derevyanchenko with high-quality stuff, really bringing it to Jermal Charlo, the champion, here in round 8.
And Charlo was holding on there for a moment.
Yes, I think you're right, Al. I think that's the reason why he was holding, because body work, again, there it is.
Solid exchange. What a round here in round number 8. We expected Derevyanchenko to get better as the fight unfolded, and that's proving to be the case.
These last 3 or 4 rounds have just been very entertaining and well fought. See, double left hook. That's what Derevyanchenko can do well.
And Charlo going to the body, avoids those shots, slipping his head, or moving his head, slipping the punches. Under a minute left in the 8th. And the more Derevyanchenko continues to get marked up, the better it seems he's doing.
And the jab of Charlo now, not so much in evidence. You see, he's moving with him, but not pumping that jab out.
Doing a good job cutting off the ring there and landing the jab.
Again. There's my son. There's my baby. Jab
Lead right uppercut grazes the chin of Derevyanchenko. Explosive exchanges. Final 15 seconds of what has been a lead 8th round. And again, that double jab scores for Charlo. Oh, the right cross buckled the knee of Derevyanchenko. That power is always there for Jermal Charlo.
Listen, you okay?
Huh?
You okay?
Yeah.
All right, sit. You pulling up too high. Technician, you pulling up too high, baby. You got to sit down.
The early part of the round for Derevyanchenko was excellent. And this is where we're going to see him show us the left hand, land that. He was throwing in combination. And he used the double left hook very effectively also in that round. But working well on the inside. And then the latter part of the round, Charlo, using his jab and fighting at a distance, would land this big right hand. Wow. They actually exchanged right hands, but Charlo's got there with more authority. Very close round in round 8. And right at the end of the round, could Charlo have taken this round based on this big punch? It might have been enough to sway the round to him.
Buckled him again. Second time he's been buckled and not gone down. He did go down earlier, and Derevyanchenko, who was trying desperately to continue the attack, but you wonder about the eyes, and yet he seems to not even be that affected by it, Abner.
No, definitely not affected by it. And I mean, especially the Derevyanchenko pressure fighter that, once he gets into the inside, he really doesn't have to see. He can close his eyes and throw punches from the outside. That's the type of fighter he is.
Yeah, Charlo coming close to dropping Derevyanchenko for the 3rd time in his career as we are in the opening minute of the 9th.
Derevyanchenko had his longest layoff, 11 months, coming into this fight. But, boy, he hasn't looked like it, has he? Even though, as he's warmed up in these rounds, he and Charlo putting on a show.
And he remains within striking distance of the champion on our unofficial scorecard belonging to Steve Farhood. There's a nice straight right cross that scores for Charlo.
Charlo's controlling the geography of this round and the ending part of the last one.
Effective counters with the right.
And that's what I wanted to point out right now. What Jermal is doing is just sweet science. I mean, the guy's at a range where he could land whenever he wants, but at the same time, he's waiting, he's jabbing, he's changing the speed on that jab, waiting for Derevyanchenko to get in and connect that right hand on top.
Ronnie Shields has worked with a lot of championship caliber fighters, Al, and he says that Jermal Charlo has the opportunity to be one of the best.
And he is performing in this match very well, especially at this point in what has been a dogfight. And Derevyanchenko has not been on the inside one time in this round. Not once. And maybe the vision of trying to get in is a problem.
Oh, He didn't see that left uppercut in the inside. And then right hand continues to score for Charlo. Charlo very effective and just content on continuing to break down Sergiy Derevyanchenko, who's proven to be as durable as they come in his career. Oh, gets his jaw jacked there, and Charlo now beginning to light up the challenger.
Something has to change in this fight, and that something is Derevyanchenko getting closer to Charlo, where he's not going to get hit with those long-range punches.
Time!
Charlo used the range extremely well in that last round, and you see him pawing at the left eye, Derevyanchenko. And on the inside, we talked about the uppercuts, always a punch that you're expecting to see with Charlo. He's landed so many of those in this match.
And Derevyanchenko in a bit of a catch-22. We see him circled to his right because of the trouble with his left. But
Time!
circling in that distance puts him in the Charlo power alley. And let's see what the doctor says here.
What do you think, Sean? Cool? It's good. Do it. Time in! Box!
Round number 10. Scheduled for 12 for Jermal Charlo's middleweight strap.
Very important. A small thing. He's starting to feint again. He stopped feinting, Derevyanchenko. He stopped jabbing and feinting, which made it harder for him to get on the inside. He's starting to do both of those. Let's see if it helps him. And it did right there. Look what it did. It got him right there where he can throw combinations.
Go ahead, slow. Don't wait for him. Work up that. Step it out.
There, Derevyanchenko using the feint to try to close the gap.
You know, Charlo has, for the most part, used his reach advantage very effectively in this match. Not at all times, but during a good portion of the match.
And Derevyanchenko beginning to use some angles.
Yep.
And something to point out, I mean, what a feint does, it has you thinking.
That's right.
And when it does that, it stops you from doing something, and that's the jab that Jermal was throwing.
Yes.
So now Derevyanchenko is able to get in.
Exchanging punches on the inside. Charlo fishing for that right uppercut. Eats a counter right from Derevyanchenko. Unofficially, Charlo beginning to build a lead on Derevyanchenko. A minute and a half away from the championship rounds.
This round has been better than the last couple for Derevyanchenko. Whether he's winning, it's another question, but he's been able to get in the inside and throw some combinations and occasionally work the body. Right there, he's got to throw the double left hook, but he does get the left, and he doesn't.
It was advertised as Charlo's toughest test. He acknowledges or says no, but usually after that means he's tasted the power of Derevyanchenko, and it's proven to be a tough test.
It's proven to be one of those fights that, you know, it's a tough one. I mean, I think he knew that going in, but that's the type of fighter he just never wants to let you know that you know that you're better than him or have
these are the
before.
types of fights to build the Charlo legacy and the Derevyanchenko legacy.
Of course, and these are the type of fighters that, you know, he has to overcome and beat if he wants to proclaim and be considered as one of the best.
The story of the fight and the jabs out. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say the jab has returned for Charlo, and there you see the numbers. When he uses that punch, it's effective. And in this round, he may have stolen the round back from Derevyanchenko with the great work with the jab.
Final 10 seconds of the 10th round, a spirited scrap between two of the best at 160, Charlo and Derevyanchenko, mano a mano.
Take a deep breath, relax. That's the pressure you need to keep on him. Don't pull.
Work here. The championship rounds are upon us.
And if you're wondering about these two men in 12 rounds, Charlo is undefeated at 12-3-0, and against Golovkin and Jacobs, 2 losses for Derevyanchenko. He is 2-2 over 12 rounds. That was good corner work by both of these veteran and excellent trainers.
Derevyanchenko does have a 12th round knockout on his ledger, and if you go according to our unofficial scorer, Steve Farhood, then Derevyanchenko may have to be fishing for another KO here in the championship rounds.
Or at the very least, a knockdown that would create a 10-8 round. Now, he's landed some big punches, and Charlo has absorbed them. So, can he hurt Charlo? We'll see. But so far, there was only one brief moment where it looked like Charlo was stunned momentarily.
It was a body shot, right?
Body shot.
A body shot that hurt Jermal Charlo. But doing something really good in this round, which is, again, fighting at his pace, fighting at his rhythm. Once he finds his rhythm, talking about Jermal Charlo, he's able to get in and he punched. That's something we haven't seen all fight, a jab to the body.
Good point. That's really an interesting point.
Of course, legendary George Foreman said boxing is like jazz, and we're seeing that rhythm from Charlo here tonight, midway through the 11th round. Derevyanchenko, of course, has to be... he got tagged with that left hand, but continues to come forward. Do you expect anything less from the technician?
There's a left hook to the body. About 2 rounds ago, the body work for Derevyanchenko really stopped.
Relentless pressure by Derevyanchenko, but Charlo doing a good job of defending and countering.
This is a very well-fought boxing match.
And that was well said, Mo. I think he's doing everything offensively, defensively. I mean, Jermal is doing a terrific job. I mean, obviously Derevyanchenko making a fight at moments when he's able to land, but at the end of the day, Jermal, just boxing really, really beautiful.
These two quality operators have thrown a combined 1,000 plus punches. 30 seconds left in round 11.
And both men landing at a pretty good rate as well.
And Derevyanchenko avoids a sweeping left hook, lands a short right hand, the jab by Charlo. And again, Charlo lands the left hand upstairs as Derevyanchenko shoe shines the body.
See, right there, Derevyanchenko should have thrown a double left hook to the body and the head. He stopped doing that for the last 3 rounds, and it's made a big difference.
12th and final round is coming up.
Here it is. Sit.
Shields doing a great job in between rounds. 12th and final round of this spirited championship affair. And Al, you said it correctly. Just quality boxing, what you expect at this level.
And you referenced the corners. Both men doing 2 things, motivating their fighter and giving them very specific and good advice. Just wonderful corner work all the way through by both of these veteran and good trainers.
No knockdowns thus far. A cut opened above Derevyanchenko's right eyelid with 45 seconds left in round number 5. Mouse under the left eye appeared in round 6. He has been buckled a couple of times, but he has made it to the 12th round.
We know one thing. The best middleweights in the world have tried to keep Derevyanchenko from battling with them, and they can't do it. They may win fights against him, but stopping him is very tough.
Double jab by Charlo. Just trying to comprehensively outbox Derevyanchenko, keeping it very calm, cool, and collected, and a tremendous display thus far as, again, doing his best to thwart the relentless Derevyanchenko and scoring.
And Derevyanchenko has not been getting on the inside in this round at all. If he's in a position where they think he's behind, which he could very well be, he has to try to get inside where he can crank up those double left hooks and do something impressive. Look what that left hook to the body does for him. It sets up other punches.
Under a minute left in the 12th round. Jermal Charlo heard the critics saying here at middleweight, yeah, he was 5-0 with 3 knockouts, but hadn't really faced anyone of note. He is facing one of the toughest at 160 and proving to be as tough as they come here with 35 seconds left in the 12th and final round. Derevyanchenko keeps coming. Can he land?
He's trying.
Left uppercut countered by Charlo. Goes downstairs. The best fighting the best. High quality boxing. Plenty of action. We are going down the stretch. Charlo, Derevyanchenko going the distance in a hard-hitting championship fight.
Oh, man. He ran out of time.
Derevyanchenko there in the final seconds of the fight.